first thing Ethan Cole heard was a heartbeat. Slow, heavy, not his own. He opened his eyes. White light burned above him. He tried to move. Nothing happened. His arms were strapped down. His legs were locked beneath metal restraints. A transparent layer of something covered his chest, making every breath feel heavy. He couldn't remember how he had gotten there. The last thing he remembered was Earth, rain, a military transport, and a voice screaming through his headset. Ethan, look up. Then, nothing. He turned his head. Something was standing behind the glass. Ethan stopped breathing. It was tall, far too tall to be human. Its body was covered in dark armor plates, almost like black bone. For thin arms moved slowly across a glowing console. Its face had no mouth, only 3 pale eyes. The creature stared at Ethan. Then it spoke, not through the room. Inside his head, subject is awake. Ethan's eyes widened. You can hear me? The creature didn't answer. Another alien stepped into view. This one wore a long silver robe and carried a strange device that pulsed with blue light. It looked at Ethan like a scientist examining an insect. Begin the first test. A mechanical arm descended from the ceiling. Ethan pulled against the restraints. Hey! The machine touched his forehead. A violent shock tore through his skull. His vision exploded with images. A city burning. Millions of people running. Ships falling from the sky. Something enormous moving behind the moon. Then, a voice. A human voice. Calm. Ancient. If they ever discover what you are... Ethan gasped. The vision disappeared. The machine pulled away. The alien scientists stared at their instruments. Nobody spoke. One of them slowly stepped backward. What happened? The silver-robed alien asked. The scientists looked terrified. The neural scan failed. Repeat it. It didn't fail. The alien swallowed. It refused to enter his mind. Silence. The silver-robed alien moved closer to the glass. That is impossible. Ethan stared back. Where am I? No answer. Who are you? Still nothing. Ethan's voice became harder. Where's my team? The silver-robed alien finally spoke. You are aboard the research vessel Verith. Ethan looked around. Earth. The alien paused, then said, No. Ethan's stomach dropped. How far from Earth? The alien looked at the scientist. The scientist hesitated. 32 light years. Ethan closed his eyes. 32 light years. That wasn't an abduction. That was a disappearance. Nobody on Earth even knew he was alive. But then the alien said something that made Ethan open his eyes again. You are the first human we have ever captured. Ethan slowly looked toward the creature. Captured? Yes. Why? The alien smiled. It was the first time Ethan realized that creature actually had teeth hidden beneath its facial plates. Because your species has become interesting. Ethan stared at it. You don't know anything about my species. The alien's 3 eyes narrowed. We know enough. A holographic image appeared behind it. Earth, blue, small, surrounded by thousands of alien symbols. Then another image appeared. Human military satellites, nuclear facilities, deep space probes. Every secret installation the aliens had somehow discovered. Ethan's expression changed. You've been watching us. For 143 years. Ethan said nothing. The alien continued. We watched your wars, your technological development, your expansion beyond your planet. It leaned closer to the glass, and we watched you destroy yourselves. Ethan laughed quietly. You really don't understand humans. The alien tilted its head. What does that mean? Ethan looked directly into its 3 eyes. It means... He smiled. You've only been watching the part we wanted you to see. The laboratory went completely silent. The scientists looked at each other. The silver-robed alien slowly turned toward Ethan. What did you say? Ethan didn't answer, because suddenly every light in the laboratory flickered. Once, twice, then every monitor went black. The aliens froze. A low vibration passed through the walls. Thump. The entire ship shook. An alarm began screaming somewhere deep inside the vessel. The silver-robed alien rushed toward the control panel. What is happening? The scientist stared at the screen. I don't know. Find the source. I can't. Another thump, harder this time. The glass around Ethan's chamber trembled. The alien scientist began shouting. Then a single line appeared on every dead monitor. Not in the alien language. Not in any code they recognized. It was written in English. We know you took him. The silver-robed alien stared at the message. What does it say? Nobody answered, because another line appeared. Return our soldier. Then the final line appeared, larger than the others. Or we come get him. Ethan looked at the screen. His smile disappeared. For the first time since waking up, he looked genuinely afraid. Not for himself. For them. The silver-robed alien noticed. You knew this would happen. Ethan slowly looked at him. No. He took a breath. I was hoping it wouldn't. Then the ship's artificial gravity suddenly failed. Every alien in the room floated upward. Ethan remained strapped to the table. And somewhere outside the laboratory, something enormous slammed into the hull. The alien screamed. Ethan closed his eyes, because he finally understood what had happened. They hadn't captured him. They had sent a signal. And something had answered. The ship went dark. For exactly 7 seconds, nobody moved. Then the emergency lights came on. Red. Flickering. Every alarm on the Verret screamed at once. Ethan was still strapped to the examination table. But the aliens around him were no longer behaving like scientists. They were afraid. One of them ran toward the laboratory door. It didn't open. He tried again. Nothing. Commander, a scientist shouted. The entire research deck is sealed. The silver-robed alien turned toward Ethan. What did you call? Ethan frowned. I didn't call anyone. You sent a signal. No. The alien pointed at the message still glowing on the screen. We know you took him. Ethan stared at it. That wasn't me. Then who sent it? Ethan slowly shook his head. You don't want to know. Before the alien could answer, another violent impact struck the ship. Boom! The entire laboratory shook. Several scientists were thrown against the walls. A crack appeared across the observation glass. Ethan looked toward the ceiling. Your ship has weapons? Yes. Use them. The alien stared at him. We cannot. Why? Because whatever is outside, the alien's voice dropped, is inside our defensive perimeter. Ethan's expression changed. How many ships are there? The alien checked the tactical display. His face went pale. None. Ethan looked confused. What? There are no ships. Then what hit you? The alien didn't answer. Another impact. This time, the entire floor bent upward. Metal screamed. Something enormous was pressing against the outside of the vessel. The scientists backed away from the windows. Ethan could hear them whispering. It can't be. What? It isn't possible. What isn't possible? Ethan demanded. One scientist finally looked at him. We detected a mass. How large? The scientist swallowed. Larger than this ship. Ethan stared at the ceiling. How much larger? The scientist looked at the numbers again, then whispered, much larger. Suddenly, every light turned white. A sound passed through the laboratory. Not an explosion, not an alarm. A voice, deep, distorted, almost mechanical. Human subject located. Every alien froze. Ethan's blood ran cold. The voice continued. Recovery protocol initiated. The silver-robed commander stepped backward. No. The scientist looked at him. You know that voice? The commander didn't respond. You know what that is? Still nothing. Ethan stared at him. Tell me. The commander finally whispered. It's impossible. Ethan pulled against his restraints. Tell me. The commander looked at him. Your species disappeared from our records 12,000 years ago. Ethan stopped. What? We thought humanity was a young civilization. The commander pointed toward the screen. But the message, he stared at Ethan, came from a human military identification system. Ethan's eyes narrowed. That doesn't make sense. It gets worse. The commander brought up the recovered signal. A strange symbol appeared. 3 concentric circles surrounding a single human skull. Ethan had never seen it before, but the moment he looked at it, his head exploded with pain. He screamed. Images flooded his mind. A massive underground facility. Thousands of human soldiers standing in darkness. Machines the size of mountains. A black planet. And a woman standing in front of an enormous door. She looked directly at Ethan. Then she said, "If you're seeing this, they've already found you." Ethan fell silent. The vision disappeared. The alien stared at him. "What did you see?" the commander asked. Ethan breathed heavily. "I don't know." The commander stepped closer. "Who was the woman?" "I don't know." "Where was she?" "I don't know." Ethan looked genuinely confused. Then the woman appeared again. This time, the voice was clearer. "Ethan," his eyes widened. The woman knew his name. "If they captured you," listen carefully. Ethan stared into nothing. "Who are you?" The vision continued. "Do not trust the aliens." The recording suddenly distorted. Then one final sentence came through. "And whatever happens," a pause. "Do not let them open your blood." The vision vanished. Ethan opened his eyes. The laboratory was silent. The commander slowly turned toward the scientists. "Cancel every biological test." A scientist hesitated. "Commander? Now." "But we already extracted." The commander grabbed him. "You extracted what?" The scientist's face went white. 3 milliliters. Ethan looked down at the tiny container sitting beside the machine. His blood. It was glowing. Not red. Not blue. Almost black. Thin lines of silver light moved through it. The commander released the scientist. "Destroy it." The scientist reached for the container. Too late. The blood moved. It crawled up the inside of the glass like something alive. Then it formed a symbol. The same 3 circles. The same skull. Ethan stared at it. The commander whispered, "God help us." The laboratory doors suddenly opened, not because the system repaired itself. They opened from the outside. Slowly, metal bent inward. A figure appeared in the doorway. Human. At least it looked human. Tall, wearing black armor. Its helmet had no visible face. Every alien raised a weapon. The figure didn't move. It simply pointed toward Ethan. A calm voice came from inside the helmet. "Release him." The commander stepped forward. "Identify yourself." The figure tilted its head, then removed its helmet. Ethan stared. The face was human. Older, scarred, cold, and somehow familiar. The man looked directly at Ethan. "I'm Commander Noah Vale." Ethan's voice shook. "How do you know me?" Noah looked at the blood container, then back at Ethan. "Because I was there when they made you." Ethan's face went blank. The aliens raised their weapons. Noah didn't even look at them. He simply said, "And if you don't release him in the next 10 seconds." The lights went out again. One by one, the alien weapons shut down. Noah smiled. "You'll learn why the galaxy was warned never to wake humanity." The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. And Ethan realized something terrifying. The aliens weren't the ones being hunted anymore. They were trapped in a room with the humans. 0.7. The number echoed through the laboratory. 6. The aliens raised their weapons again. Nothing happened. Their weapons were dead. 5. Commander Noah Vale stood in the doorway, completely still. Ethan stared at him. "Who are you?" Noah didn't answer. 4. The silver-robed alien finally understood. "You're not rescuers." Noah looked at him. "No." 3. The alien's eyes narrowed. "Then what are you?" Noah smiled. "Recovery." 2. Ethan's restraints suddenly unlocked. 1. The entire laboratory went dark. A second later, emergency power returned. Every alien weapon had vanished. Not destroyed. Gone. The scientists looked around in panic. Noah walked toward Ethan. Ethan sat up slowly. "You said you were there when they made me." Noah stopped. "I was." "Made me into what?" Noah looked at the aliens. "Not here." The silver-robed commander stepped forward. "You're not taking him." Noah turned. "You've already made your decision." "I will not allow." Noah raised one hand. The alien suddenly froze. Not from fear. His entire body stopped moving. His 3 eyes widened. Noah's voice remained calm. Your nervous system is being controlled by your own ship. The commander looked horrified. What did you do? Nothing. Noah pointed toward the ceiling. Your ship did it. Ethan looked up. The red emergency lights were flickering again, but now they were flashing in a pattern. 3 short flashes, 3 long, 3 short. Ethan stared. That's a distress signal. Noah looked at him. You recognize it? Ethan nodded slowly. My father taught me. Noah's expression changed. Your father? Yeah. When? Ethan frowned. I was 6. Noah stepped closer. What exactly did he tell you? Ethan remembered. A dark room, his father's voice, a locked metal box, and one sentence he had never understood. If the stars ever go dark, Ethan, don't look at the sky. Ethan's face went pale. Noah whispered. He knew. Knew what? That they'd come. Ethan stared at him. Who? Noah didn't answer. Instead, he walked to the glass chamber where Ethan's blood sample was still floating. He opened a container. The black liquid moved toward his hand. The alien screamed, Don't touch it. Noah ignored them. The moment his finger touched the blood, the laboratory disappeared. For Ethan, everything became white. Then he saw Earth. But it wasn't the Earth he knew. There were no cities, no highways, no satellites, no human civilization. The planet was covered in enormous structures, thousands of them, ancient, black, buried beneath oceans, deserts, mountains, and ice. Then the vision moved outward. Mars, the moon, Jupiter, even distant worlds. Everywhere were the same structures. Human structures. Ethan's breathing stopped. A voice spoke behind him. Humanity did not begin on Earth. Ethan turned. There was nobody there. The voice continued. Earth was a refuge. Images flashed faster. A civilization crossing galaxies. Human warships fighting creatures larger than planets. Stars being destroyed. Entire civilizations disappearing. Then, a giant black door. Behind it was something Ethan couldn't see. Only 2 enormous eyes. The voice became quieter. Humanity survived because they learned one rule. The door began to shake. Never let the universe know what you are. Ethan screamed. The vision ended. He collapsed onto the floor. Noah caught him. The laboratory returned. The aliens were staring. The silver-robed commander looked at Ethan differently now. Not like a prisoner. Like a weapon. What is he? The commander whispered. Noah answered. You really want to know? The commander nodded. Noah looked at Ethan. He's a descendant. Of what? Noah's eyes hardened. Of the last civilization that fought the thing behind that door. Silence. The commander stepped backward. That is a myth. No. Noah looked toward the ship's outer cameras. It was history. Suddenly every screen activated. A massive object appeared outside the vessel. At first it looked like a planet. Then the camera zoomed out. It wasn't a planet. It was a ship. A ship so enormous that the alien vessel looked like a grain of dust beside it. The alien stared in disbelief. The commander's voice trembled. How did it get here? Noah didn't answer. Ethan slowly stood. That's not a ship. We have to go! Everyone looked at him. Run! Ethan pointed at the screen. That's a fortress. The commander shook his head. Impossible. Ethan stared at the enormous structure. I've seen it before. Noah looked at him. Where? In my dreams. The room became silent. Then the fortress opened. Not a hangar. Not a door. The entire front section split apart. A beam of white light entered space. Every electronic system on the alien vessel shut down. The ship lost power. The alien screamed. Then something appeared inside the laboratory. A hologram. A woman. The same woman from Ethan's memory. She looked older now. Her face was covered in scars. She looked directly at Ethan. Ethan! He stepped forward. Who are you? She smiled sadly. My name is Sarah Cole. Ethan stopped breathing. That's my mother's name. The hologram nodded. I know. Ethan's voice broke. My mother died when I was 6. Sarah looked at him. No, Ethan. A pause. I disappeared. Ethan stared at her. Why? Sarah looked toward Noah, then back at her son. Because I was protecting you. The hologram began to flicker. Listen carefully. The aliens think they captured a human. Her expression became serious. They didn't. Ethan swallowed. What did they capture? Sarah looked directly into his eyes. The key. The hologram vanished. At that exact moment, something hit the alien vessel. But this time, it didn't shake. It stopped completely. The ship was no longer moving. No engines, no gravity, no sound, nothing. The commander slowly walked toward the window. Outside, thousands of alien ships had appeared. They were surrounding the fortress. Hundreds of thousands of weapons activated. Noah looked at Ethan. They're scared. Ethan looked at the fleet. Of us. No. Noah's expression changed. They're scared of what's coming. Then every alien communication channel opened simultaneously. A voice came through. Not human, not alien, something older, something enormous, and it spoke only 3 words. The door is open. Ethan looked at Noah. Noah's face had lost all color. What door? Noah whispered. The one your mother spent 20 years keeping closed. Behind them, the black blood inside the container suddenly began to glow, and somewhere far beyond the stars, something woke up. The words remained on every screen. The door is open. Nobody in the laboratory moved. Ethan stared at Noah. What door? Noah didn't answer immediately. He was looking at the black blood. It was glowing brighter now. Silver lines were spreading through it like veins. The alien commander stepped backward. Shut it down. One of the scientists shook his head. We can't. Then destroy the sample. We tried. Try again. The scientist grabbed a container and threw it against the floor. The glass shattered. The black liquid hit the metal. Nothing happened. Then the entire floor began to glow. A symbol appeared beneath Ethan's feet. 3 circles. The same symbol. Ethan looked down. What is that? Noah's voice was barely audible. Your family seal. My family? Noah nodded. Your family wasn't just military. The laboratory shook. Then what were they? Noah looked at him. Guardians. Ethan laughed nervously. Guardians of what? Before Noah could answer, the alien ship's emergency systems activated. A massive holographic map appeared. Thousands of star systems turned red, one after another. The alien commander stared at it. What is happening? A scientist answered. Multiple dimensional breaches. How many? The scientist's hands trembled. 37. The commander looked horrified. 37? Now 40. Another system turned red. 41. Then another. 49. The commander backed away from the console. That is impossible. Noah looked at Ethan. No. He pointed toward the map. It has started. Ethan stared at the growing red lights. What has started? The return. Suddenly the entire ship received a transmission. It wasn't from the alien fleet. It wasn't from Earth. It came from somewhere beyond normal space. A voice filled the laboratory. The prison has failed. The aliens dropped to their knees. Some began praying. Ethan looked at them. You've heard this before. The commander didn't respond. Ethan grabbed him. You've heard this before. The alien looked into Ethan's eyes. Yes. When? Before your species disappeared. Ethan froze. What do you mean? The commander took a shaky breath. Thousands of years ago, the galaxy was almost destroyed. He pointed toward the holographic map. Not by humans. Then by what? The commander whispered. By the architects. Ethan frowned. Who are they? Your ancestors called them many names. The commander looked toward the stars. Destroyers. Gods. Monsters. Noah corrected him. Predators. The commander nodded. They traveled between galaxies. They didn't conquer civilizations. He swallowed. They erased them. Ethan looked at Noah. And humanity fought them? Yes. How? Noah's expression hardened. We didn't win. Silence. We survived. The laboratory doors suddenly exploded inward, a shockwave threw everyone to floor. When Ethan looked up, the aliens were screaming. Something was standing outside, tall, thin, covered in black armor. But unlike the humans, this creature had no face, only a smooth surface with a single vertical eye. It stepped into the laboratory. Every weapon pointed toward it. The creature didn't react. The alien commander whispered, "Architect." The creature looked at Ethan. For several seconds, neither moved. Then it spoke. Bloodline confirmed. Ethan's heart began racing. Noah stepped in front of him. The creature ignored Noah. "Where's the door?" it asked. Noah raised his weapon. "You won't reach it." The creature turned toward him. "You already opened it." Noah's eyes widened. "What?" The creature looked at Ethan. He did. Ethan stepped backward. "I didn't do anything." The creature's voice became almost gentle. "You woke." The black symbol beneath Ethan's feet suddenly exploded with light. The entire ship disappeared. For one impossible second, Ethan felt like he was falling through space. Then he landed somewhere else. A massive chamber surrounded him. Noah was beside him. The aliens were gone. The walls were covered in ancient human writing. Ethan walked toward one. He recognized the language. English. But the date beneath it made his blood freeze. Year 18,742, before Earth colonization. Noah looked at him. "Now you understand." Ethan shook his head. "No." He pointed toward another wall. There were thousands of names. Human names. Soldiers. Scientists. Children. And at the very bottom, one name. Sarah Cole. Ethan touched it. The chamber responded. A door opened. Behind it was darkness. Then a woman's voice came from inside. "Ethan." He stopped. "Mom." Noah grabbed his shoulder. "Don't." Ethan pulled away. "That's my mother." "No." The voice came again. "Ethan, please." He moved toward the doorway. Noah blocked him. "That's not her." Ethan stared at him. "How do you know?" "Because I watched her die." Silence. Ethan's face went pale. "What?" Noah's eyes filled with pain. "Your mother died 20 years ago." The voice behind the door whispered, "Ethan." Then something changed. The voice became deeper, distorted. "Hungry. Come inside." Ethan stepped backward. The darkness behind the door moved. Two enormous eyes opened. Noah raised his weapon. "Now you know why your mother disappeared." Ethan whispered, "She wasn't protecting me." Noah shook his head. "She was protecting the galaxy from you." Ethan looked at him. "What does that mean?" Noah didn't answer, because the chamber began shaking. The ancient walls cracked, and from somewhere behind the door came a sound that Ethan had never heard before. Millions of voices speaking together. The key has returned. The door began opening wider. Noah grabbed Ethan. "Run." Ethan didn't move. "Where?" Noah looked at the darkness, then at Ethan. "Anywhere." A pause. "Just not through that door." Behind them, the chamber walls suddenly lit up. A massive message appeared. Not in alien language. Not in ancient English. It was written in modern human English. "If Ethan Cole wakes." The next line appeared. "Do not fight him." Ethan stared. Then the final line appeared. "Run." And for the first time, Noah Vale looked terrified of Ethan. Not because Ethan was dangerous. Because he finally realized what was sleeping inside him. And it was beginning to wake. The word "run" remained on the wall. Ethan stared at it. Noah grabbed his arm. "We have to move." Ethan didn't. "What am I?" Noah looked at him. "I don't know." "You just said my mother was protecting the galaxy from me." "I said she was protecting the galaxy from what could happen if you woke." "That isn't an answer." "No." Noah looked toward the enormous door. "But we're running out of time." The darkness behind the door moved again. The creature didn't step through. It didn't need to. Its presence alone made the chamber shake. Ethan suddenly felt something inside his chest. A pulse. Once. Twice. Then a third time. The same rhythm as the symbol. His eyes widened. "Noah, I know." "My heart." It isn't your heart. Ethan looked at him. What? Noah pointed toward his chest. That pulse is coming from inside you. Ethan stepped backward. No, another pulse. The ancient walls vibrated. The door stopped moving. The creature behind it became silent. Then every light in the chamber turned blue. A voice appeared inside Ethan's mind. Not the creature, not his mother, his own voice. Remember? Ethan grabbed his head. Images exploded through his mind. A battlefield, thousands of human soldiers, a massive alien fleet burning above them, and a younger version of Noah standing beside Ethan's father. His father was holding a small child, Ethan, but the child wasn't crying. He was staring at the sky. Something was descending, a black sphere. His father looked terrified. Take him. Noah reached for the child. Ethan's father stopped him. No, Daniel, we don't have time. You need to promise me something. What? If they ever find him. Daniel looked down at Ethan. Don't let them wake him. The memory shattered. Ethan opened his eyes. Noah was staring at him. You remember? Ethan nodded slowly. My father knew. Yes. He knew what I was. Yes. Then why did he never tell me? Noah looked away. Because he loved you. The chamber shook again. This time, something cracked behind the door. Noah raised his weapon. We need to get out. Ethan looked at the door. What happens if I open it? Noah didn't answer. Ethan stepped closer. Noah, if you open that door... He paused. The thing behind it won't be the only thing that wakes. Ethan looked confused. What else? Noah stared at him. You... Suddenly the entire chamber went silent. The creature behind the door whispered. Yes. Ethan's body froze. His pupils changed. For a fraction of a second, his eyes became silver. Noah stepped backward. Ethan? Ethan didn't respond. The symbol on his chest began glowing through his skin. The walls started cracking. And then Ethan heard thousands of voices. Human voices. All speaking at once. We remember. Ethan fell to his knees. No. We remember the war. His hands began shaking. We remember the worlds they destroyed. Images flashed through his mind. Human cities burning. Alien civilizations collapsing. Entire planets turning to ash. We remember what they did to us. Ethan screamed. Stop. The voices stopped. Silence. Then one final voice whispered. Now make them remember us. Ethan stood. Noah raised his weapon. Ethan. Ethan looked at him. His eyes were normal again. But something had changed. He wasn't afraid anymore. He walked toward the door. Noah blocked him. You can't. Ethan looked at him. They've been hunting humanity for thousands of years. Yes. They erased our history. Yes. They experimented on me. Yes. Ethan looked toward the darkness. And they think we're still hiding. Noah's face tightened. We are. Ethan shook his head. Not anymore. He placed his hand against the door. The entire chamber reacted. Thousands of ancient symbols appeared. Across the galaxy, something happened. Alien communication networks suddenly came alive. Every screen, every ship, every military command center, every government, all received the same transmission. A human face appeared. Ethan. The aliens watched in silence. Then Ethan spoke. His voice was calm. Almost too calm. My name is Ethan Cole. Across thousands of worlds, billions of beings watched. I was captured. The alien commander stared at the screen. I was experimented on. Scientists lowered their heads. And you thought I was alone. Ethan looked directly into the camera. You were wrong. Behind him, the ancient door began opening. Noah whispered, Ethan, stop. Ethan continued. For thousands of years, humanity hid from the galaxy. The darkness behind him moved. But we didn't hide because we were weak. The door opened another meter. We hid because we were trying to give you a chance. The alien civilizations began receiving another signal. Then another. Human military fleets appeared on their sensors. 1, 10, 100, then thousands. They emerged from hidden dimensions around planets the galaxy had considered abandoned. The aliens panicked. How long had they been there? No one knew. The human fleets didn't attack. They simply waited. Ethan looked into the camera. You want to know what humans really are? A pause. Now you'll see. The transmission ended. The galaxy erupted into chaos. Alien governments ordered their fleets to retreat. Some surrendered. Others launched everything they had. But the humans didn't fire. Not yet, because Ethan had one more thing to say. He turned toward the darkness and whispered, "Come out." Noah's eyes widened. "What are you doing?" Ethan looked back, ending it. The creature behind the door finally stepped forward. One foot, then another. Its body emerged from the darkness. It was enormous, far larger than a human. Its armor looked like living stone. Its single eye opened completely. The entire chamber began collapsing around it. Noah raised his weapon. The creature looked at him, then looked at Ethan, and for the first time, the monster smiled. "You finally remembered." Ethan stared at it. "Remembered what?" The creature leaned closer and whispered, "You were the one who defeated us." Ethan's face went pale. "What?" The creature's smile disappeared. "You didn't survive the war, Ethan." A pause. "You ended it." The chamber exploded with light, and across the galaxy, every human ship activated the same ancient symbol. The symbol of a civilization that everyone believed had died thousands of years ago. The symbol of humanity. And this time, humanity wasn't hiding. The chamber exploded with white light. Ethan couldn't see anything. He could only hear voices. Thousands of them. Then millions. Human, alien, terrified. Every communication network in the galaxy had been activated. Every screen showed the same symbol. 3 circles. 1 skull. The ancient mark of humanity. For thousands of years, the galaxy had believed that symbol belonged to a dead civilization. Now it was appearing everywhere. On warships. On planets. Inside alien governments. Even on worlds that had never heard the word human before. The alien commander stared at his screen. "What have we done?" Nobody answered. Then every human fleet moved, not toward the alien planets, toward the darkness between the stars. Ethan stood inside the ancient chamber. The creature was still in front of him. Its enormous eye remained fixed on him. "You said I defeated you." "Yes." "How?" The creature stepped closer. "You don't remember because your memories were removed." "By my father? By your mother?" Ethan froze. "Why?" "Because you were becoming something neither human nor architect could control." Ethan looked at Noah. "Is that true?" Noah lowered his weapon. "Yes." Ethan's voice became quiet. "What am I?" Noah answered honestly. "We don't know." The creature laughed. "You still don't understand." It pointed at Ethan. "He isn't a weapon." A pause. "He is the lock." Ethan looked toward the open door. "And you're what?" The creature's eye narrowed. The thing the lock was built to contain. Ethan finally understood. The door wasn't a prison for the monster. It was a prison for him. The creature continued. "When humanity defeated us, your ancestors couldn't destroy us. So they imprisoned you." "Yes." "And they used me?" "They used your bloodline." Ethan looked down at his hands. The silver light was still moving beneath his skin. "Why me?" The creature answered. "Because you are the final key." Suddenly Noah's communicator activated. A human voice came through. "Commander Vale, we have a problem." Noah touched the device. "What happened?" "Multiple architect signatures detected." "How many?" A pause. "Millions." Noah's expression changed. Ethan looked at him. "Millions?" The voice continued. "They're coming from every direction." The creature smiled. "They have heard the call." Ethan looked at the open door. "What happens now?" The creature stepped backward. "Now they come for you." Ethan clenched his fists, then let them come. Noah looked at him. "That isn't the plan." Ethan turned. "What is the plan?" Noah smiled for the first time. "Your mother left one." He activated a hidden panel in the wall. A hologram appeared. Sarah Cole. She looked older than before. But this time she wasn't a recording. She was alive. Ethan stared. "Mom!" Sarah looked directly at him. If you're seeing this, then the final seal has failed. Ethan's eyes filled with emotion. Sarah continued, I know you have questions. Ethan whispered, Where are you? Sarah smiled sadly. I'm where I always needed to be. The hologram changed. A distant planet appeared. Dark, frozen, surrounded by thousands of human ships. Sarah stood inside a command center. Ethan, I couldn't tell you the truth because the moment you remembered, they would find you. She looked toward the camera. And now they have. Ethan stepped closer. Mom, what do I do? Sarah's expression became serious. You have two choices. Behind her, a massive fleet began moving. Open the door completely. The screen showed the creature. And let the architects return. Then another image appeared. Human warships. Millions of them. Or close it forever. Ethan looked at Noah. And if I close it? Sarah hesitated. You won't survive. Silence. Ethan understood. The lock needed a key. And the key was him. Noah stepped forward. There has to be another way. Sarah shook her head. There isn't. Ethan looked at the darkness. Then at the creature. Then at the galaxy displayed across the chamber. Billions of lives. Thousands of worlds. Humanity itself. He finally understood why his mother had disappeared. Why his father had lied. Why the aliens had feared the symbol. Why his blood had been hidden. Humanity wasn't hiding from the galaxy. Humanity was protecting it. Ethan turned toward Noah. Get everyone out. Noah shook his head. No, that's an order. You're not a commander. Ethan smiled. Not yet. Noah looked at him, then slowly nodded. The human fleets began retreating. The alien fleets watched in confusion. They expected an attack. Instead, humanity withdrew. Every human warship disappeared into hyperspace. Every soldier returned home. Every human transmission stopped. The galaxy fell silent again. The alien commanders stared at a screen. They're retreating. A scientist whispered, Why? Then something appeared on every screen. Ethan, standing alone, he looked directly into the camera. Thousands of years ago, humanity made a promise. A pause. We promised that the galaxy would never have to fight our war. Behind him, the ancient door began closing. But you made one mistake. The alien commander leaned closer. You woke me. The door continued closing. The creature screamed. The architects appeared in the distance. Millions of them. But it was too late. Ethan placed both hands against the door. The silver light inside his body became brighter. His skin began turning white. Noah watched from a distance. Ethan looked back. For the first time, he smiled. Tell my mother. His voice shook. I remember. Noah's eyes filled with tears. I will. The door slammed shut. A wave of energy exploded through space. Every architect's ship disappeared. Every breach closed. Every ancient portal went dark. Then the stars returned. One by one, the galaxy survived. The alien commanders slowly sat down. Nobody spoke. Nobody celebrated. Because everyone understood what had happened. Humanity had sacrificed its greatest weapon to save them. But then, 3 months later, Earth, a young girl walked through a military museum. She stopped in front of an old photograph. It showed Ethan Cole, a soldier, a son, a man who had disappeared from history. The girl stared at the picture. Then she heard someone behind her. Your father would have hated this place. She turned. An old man stood there. No avail. The girl smiled. Uncle Noah? He nodded. She looked back at Ethan's photograph. Was he really a hero? Noah looked at the picture. No. The girl frowned. No. Noah smiled. He was something much more dangerous. What? Noah looked toward the window, at the stars. Then he whispered. He was human. The girl laughed. That doesn't sound dangerous. Noah's smile disappeared. You didn't hear what happened after he closed the door. The girl looked at him. What happened? Noah leaned closer. Every alien civilization in the galaxy received the same message. What message? Noah pointed toward the sky. 3 stars suddenly disappeared. Then 3 more. Then 3 more. His voice became a whisper. The door is closed. A pause. But the human is still alive. The girl stared at the stars. Somewhere beyond the galaxy, something answered, not with words, with a heartbeat, slow, heavy, human, and for the first time in 10,000 years, the galaxy understood the truth. They had never been afraid of humanity's weapons. They had been afraid of what would happen if humanity ever stopped being afraid of itself.